Hi everyone, my name's Tom McKinney, and in recent years I've been really lucky in having the chance to play guitar with BCMG in some really quite special concerts. Last year, September 2019, with conductor Miega Grajini-Tetila, we performed A Visible Trace by Rebecca Saunders. It was a piece that she wrote back in 2006. We played it in Birmingham first at the CBSO Centre, maybe some of you came to that concert, and then we took it to Hamburg and into the recital room at the absolutely incredible Elbphilharmonie Concert Hall. So we should have been performing it again now, May 2020, but obviously that's impossible. But the way Rebecca uses electric guitar in this piece, it's so special, it's so unique that I thought it might be nice to actually show you a few of the techniques and the sounds that she creates, because, well, there really aren't anything else quite like them in any other piece that I've played. And so many of these interesting sounds are produced with cylindrical slides, which we call bottlenecks. Now that name bottlenecks comes from blues guitarists, because they did originally use glass bottles to get this slide effect. It's a sound that you will all know, I'm sure. Now a bottle of rum's a bit cumbersome for this. It's also gone down quite a bit during lockdown. But because Rebecca takes what you can do with the bottleneck into an entirely new area, just so amazingly imaginative. A lot of the sounds that are produced, they're actually pretty self-explanatory. So to start, I'm just going to show you some of them from early on in the piece. Now that last example, scrubbing the finger against the string, well, here's how that sounds within the rest of the ensemble. Almost everything is marked by Rebecca to be played really quietly, just this shimmering haze of sound. That's the effect that she's after. So electric guitarists tend to be quite into gadgets, and this little thing, this is a tool of pure magic. It's an ebow, which first came onto the market in the 1970s, and inside there's an electromagnetic coil. When you put it close to the strings, what it does is it causes them to vibrate. The string starts to vibrate on its own without you plucking it. The ebow does that for you. So what that means is that you can actually properly sustain a note on the guitar. So if you combine the ebow with the bottleneck, then you can really start to play around with pitch and colours. Moving the ebow up and down the string really changes the colour. And Rebecca also asks you to release the pressure of the bottleneck against the string. What that does is it creates this lightly buzzing, gentle rattle. It's almost like a tiny circular saw for cutting wood in a workshop. Here's some of those sounds. Now you can see down here that I've got an effects unit, and by switching between the various foot pedals, I can introduce a whole new set of digitally produced sounds. I can also control the volume with this pedal on the side. So here's just the clean guitar sound. I can add some kind of rock guitar distortion. Here's the clean sound again. And here it is when you introduce the wah-wah pedal. Rebecca specifically asks for a guitar with a whammy bar. You'll have seen them. It's a thin metal bar just about there on the guitar that leans across just over the strings. And you push it up and down to change the pitch. But in lockdown, I've only got this instrument with me. There's no whammy bar on this. So instead, I'm going to cheat and use a pedal to create the sound that she wants. It's a really tight, fast pitch wobble, this vibrato that goes rapidly up and down. So put all of the pedals together, the ebow and the bottleneck, and here's what you get. But just one bottleneck, no. If you bring two into play, then things get even more interesting. And until I played A Visible Trace, I had no idea that you could actually do anything like this. There's a passage about halfway through the piece where the music becomes incredibly aggressive, with the guitar really heavily distorted, playing harmonics, hitting the strings with both the bottlenecks, and using the volume pedal to slide in and out of the focus of the overall sound with these massive swells that then just fade away into silence. There's just one more technique that Rebecca brings into play towards the end of the piece, and for this she asks you to drop the pitch down an octave. So I'll use another pedal on the effects unit. Combine that with the bottleneck, and Rebecca creates this mechanical, kind of robotic passage with this amazingly sort of bouncing electrical pulse quality to it. And then here's how that works within the context of the full ensemble in the piece. The last thing the guitar plays in A Visible Trace, it completely took me by surprise when I eventually worked out how to get the sound that Rebecca wanted. It needs the octave pedal again, but this time using harmonics, and played really delicately. And when we performed this in Hamburg, I can vividly remember the audience. The front row was really close to the edge of the stage. And I remember them looking around at the stage, looking about amongst the different players in the ensemble, and having absolutely no idea who was making this sound that I was playing. They were completely baffled. They couldn't believe that it was a guitar. And that's what I'll leave you with, this spine-tingling end to what really was one of the most interesting and enjoyable guitar parts that I've ever played. It really was a privilege, and I really can't wait to play it again.